Welcome everyone to Mom Street USA. My name is Jackie, aka Wishes Mama, and joining me on location from Epcot is my wonderful co-host Kate, aka the Disney Cicerone, and we are super excited for a first on Mom Street tonight, where Kate is going to be doing some walking around in the parks while we chat about our topics and giving us a first-person perspective on everything we're going to talk about.
Yes. So I'm really excited about this because it's like not only do we get to talk about all the ways to experience something, we get to actually show you all the things.
Yeah.
So if this works out, we might do it for some of our future shows as well for some of these festivals and things, since I'm in the parks fairly often. So.
Yay. Exciting. Yes, so tonight we are talking all things Festival of the Arts. So that is the current festival that is running at Epcot. It runs every January and February. So we are going to be talking about maybe some tricks for doing it with your kids, and maybe just giving you some general information about what the festival has to offer for everybody, not just kids. So that is the plan for this evening's show. And kind of as we chat about it, Kate will be walking around, showing us the sights, and showing us everything we're talking about, which is super exciting.
Yes. So Jackie's also going to kind of tell me where she wants me to go as she's figuring out, as she's going to do a lot of the narrating here, since I'm going to be navigating around all the people that are in Epcot, which there are many.
Absolutely. So Kate right now is kind of in between what used to be Future World, and it's not Future World anymore. I think they changed the name of it. What is it?
I'm trying to remember what they changed it to.
I don't even remember either. But what used to be that
Future
area.
World.
Yeah, and World Showcase. There is kind of a pathway that leads between those two areas, kind of right at the entrance to the Festival of the Arts and all of the things that are happening there. So we're going to give you a ton of information about the festival. We're going to highlight a lot of things that you can do with kids, activities you can do, things you can eat, shows you can see, those types of things. So that is the plan tonight. At the end, we will be happy to kind of go through and answer any questions we miss. As always, we love your input. We love your feedback, your questions in the chat. So be sure to put those in if you guys have questions or comments or anything to share with us as we go through. So the first thing that we kind of talked about as far as getting your kids involved with your trip to Epcot during Festival of the Arts is getting them a guide map and a festival passport.
Which I didn't get yet.
No, you're totally fine. Which seems like a totally no-brainer, but I tell you what, my oldest is obsessed with park maps. He will look at them for the entire ride home. He will look at them for weeks and months after we get home. So that is something that is super easy to do to help include them in what you are doing while you're there. The other thing is you can point out then too, like my kiddo last year did a lot of stuff with the continents in his kindergarten classes. So we would walk through kind of, okay, let's look at the different countries that we have and what kind of happens in World Showcase. And he was able to kind of associate that with some of the stuff he learned in school. So definitely a good way to kind of get them involved in where you are and where you're going and what's around you, surrounding things like that in World Showcase.
Yeah, so I'm going to go find one. So maybe we can look at some of the chalk art on my way to getting one.
Yeah,
I completely forgot.
You're fine. There's probably one when we get to Port of Entry. I bet you they have them in there.
Yes,
so
they
I think you're good. So we'll wander down this way. So Kate is walking, if you can think about the map of Epcot, she's walking towards the entrance to World Showcase. On this kind of walkway, there's a bunch of different things that you can do and activity-wise. So they've got chalk art, a couple different types of chalk art. They've got galleries with chalk artists that are kind of doing their work that you can walk by and see as the day goes on. So those are different artists that will create different types of chalk art through. So cool. So you can just walk through and watch them. Sometimes they're there in person finishing up.
Come on, Mary.
Oh, Mary.
My gimbal has a mind of its own.
Yeah, so sometimes they're there in person doing it. Sometimes you can kind of walk by and see their finished artwork. But such a fun thing to see with your kids, and just walking through and enjoying it and chatting with them about what they see, what they like, kind of all of that. So you can see it's a really good mix of, some of it is Disney, some of it is more like classic art styles. You know, if you've got kids that are really into art, obviously this is like perfect for them. You can talk about all the different things that you see, and different things like that. But a very, very cool. Oh, look at Hank. He looks so cute. Oh, squishy.
Oh no, there's so many fun ones.
Very, very cool. So that is one of the sides of that walkway kind of that leads you towards World Showcase, of different things that you can look at as you go. They're also in this area. So this area, I was surprised when I was looking this up at how much there is in this little area, just because it feels like such a narrow space. Look at Alice, but it feels like such a narrow space, but they kind of pack a lot into the area. So they also have like little photo ops. You can see that Kate was just showing there of chalk art that you can kind of get yourself involved with. A lot of it is like three-dimensional, which is really, really cool. Yes, Nessa, I agree. The talent is amazing, incredible. So they've got lots of different photo ops, and they do rotate and change throughout the festival.
Did it actually look like it?
So you do have the ability to kind of, if you're someone who's a local, or, oh my gosh, look how gorgeous that is. Sorry, very distracted. But you can see different artwork kind of throughout the festival if you're someone who is fortunate enough to go more than once. The other thing in this space that they have, Kate, what is the next thing you're coming up to? Is it the paint by number?
That's back that way.
That's back on the other side.
I
Okay.
might have to go see that. Yeah.
Okay. I know, like,
I'm
it's
going
hard
for my
because
festival map.
you got to hit both sides. Yeah. So I'll kind of chat about a couple other things while Kate goes to find her map and can help us kind of navigate that way. But also in that space, there is a kids chalk art zone that is open in that plaza area from 11 to 5 daily, where kids have the ability to just kind of have at it and have a chance to kind of make their own artwork on the sidewalks of Epcot, which I feel like if I were a kid, that would be like goals right there, right? Like to be able to just draw with chalk
Yes.
on Epcot in Disney World, like what's better than that?
I know that there's not one in here, I don't think.
Check out the register maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
to
there
grab
is
one.
that. Yeah, and for those of you who joined Kate and Kirk and Ellie on their adventures yesterday, you saw that they did the paint by number. So once Kate kind of makes her way back,
See one
that
in
way.
there. I'm gonna look by a festival booth.
Okay. There is also a gigantic paint by number. So opposite side of kind of where Kate was showing all of that, the chalk art galleries, is a gigantic paint by number, almost like mural that goes up on the wall. And that is a completely free activity that you can do. And all you have to do is get in line. Now the line can get long, so you definitely want to time it to where you kind of keep an eye on that. But basically they have these little containers of paint with a number on the top. So that number will correspond to the squares with the numbers that are on the mural. They give you a little foam brush, and they basically tell you that you can paint up to 6 squares to help complete the painting. And then when you're done, they give you a little like bookmark. Woohoo! Success!
Got it. I know.
They give you like a little bookmark that has what the finished art will look like. So that is kind of the paint by numbers area that is up kind of where Kate initially started, between kind of where the Spaceship Earth and the new Moana attraction, all that kind of stuff is going to go, and World Showcase.
Do you want me to walk back there, or
You don't have to. That's totally fine.
Yeah, maybe,
You've
maybe at the
started
end we can walk back that way if we need to.
Yeah, because we're ending kind of once we circle around, we're ending there, so we can show that at the
Yes.
end. So Kate is looking right now at all throughout the park are these booths of different artwork and different artists, kind of showcasing their work.
Yes, I do though.
This one's
A
really
lot of
pretty.
it, yeah. A lot of it is, almost all of it, I would say, is Disney related in some way, shape, or form. So you
Yeah,
can find.
one of my favorite artists, who's a graphic design artist who does poster art for Disney. His name is Eric Tan, and he's going to be here like Saturday through next week. So I was
Yeah.
excited to see him, and then I realized I wouldn't get to. But
By like a day, right?
yeah.
Oh, darn.
Oh, this one's so sweet.
So cute.
Oh,
Oh, and look at all the park icons like that. How
I know they're all
majestic.
4 of them in there. I want that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I love it.
And then this orange bird up there too.
So many fun things. Yes. So it's definitely, if you're someone who loves artwork and prints and canvases and all of that, this is like the way to go. So, so
Can we
those
point
are-
out? Do
Yeah,
you
go
mind if
ahead.
I point out? So there is this festival map for Disney that kind of looks like this, but we kind of have our own map that we like to use for this, which is from our good friend Kirk from Walrus Carp, who specializes in hacks, snacks, and fun facts, and he's got this fabulous map that I actually really love that shows, it's zoomed in a little bit, but actually shows all the physical locations for all of the places so that you could find them. But it also has all of his recommendations for what to eat at the festival.
Yes.
And like
it's
it has
lovely
like
coded
savory or
and-
sweet
Yep.
and drinks and all the things. And it's free, I believe, walruscarp.com.
Yep, walruscarp.com, and it is under his, I think it's WDW Help or something like that along the top. It is a free download on his website, and it is a fantastic guide. If you're like, I don't know where to start, get that, download it, print it out. That will be your starting point for sure. So that is something that I used to help me do my research to make sure I knew where everything was. And his map is one of the most accurate ones that I can find. That's because I even think like Disney's can be very busy. So if you're looking just for like food booths, that's the one that you want to use because it's going to be so much easier to use that one from Kirk at Walrus Carp. Because it's just so much cleaner and easier to see. So
And this
feel
one tells
free-
you what is in each. You know, I don't think it's a complete list. I think it's like his recommendations.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
it is. It really kind of tells you like what to get at each one. So if you're like, I don't have time to research what's good and what's not, this is a really, really great guide for that. So.
Absolutely. And do keep in mind if you're someone that's like, oh, I'm not going to Festival of the Arts, but I'm going to Flower and Garden. Bookmark his website because he puts out a guide like this for every single festival that Epcot has. He's also got a ton of other useful guides on there as well that I could spend an hour alone probably talking about what all he has on there.
For sure, yeah.
But keep in mind that if you're going to Epcot during a festival, you want to make sure that you check that out. So that is an excellent guide to have. Okay, so jumping back into kind of what they have to offer at Epcot during the Festival of the Arts. So we talked about the paint by number, we talked about the kids' chalk art area, we talked about the chalk art galleries. There are also some places where you can watch artists create live in World Showcase Plaza, which the plaza is just really that entrance kind of area. As you enter into World Showcase, it kind of goes out into your circle. So kind of that whole little area kind of right directly in front of where Kate is right now is the plaza. And on select days at 12:15 and 3:45, they do have artists live creating there. So those schedules are available on the Disney website directly. That you can like sit and watch people create, which is super, super cool to do. So that's always definitely something fun. If you've got some older kiddos, your little ones probably won't really care as much about that, honestly.
Yeah.
But if you've got some older kiddos that may be interested in watching that for a few minutes, definitely something that you would want to.
I'm trying to figure out where I should go. Like, where do you want me to go, Jackie?
You're fine. So you want to head towards the port of entry.
Okay, I'm right. I'm here. I'm here.
So I sent Kate to Port of Entry to show us, hopefully if she can get a glimpse of the Figment scavenger hunt. So this is one of the big ones that you can do with your kids. It is a scavenger hunt called Figment's Brush with the Masters scavenger hunt. And basically what it is you are searching around World Showcase for Figment, and he has inserted himself into famous pieces of artwork around World Showcase. So Kate is kind of zooming in and showing you there. The maps can be located or can be picked up and purchased at Creations, Port of Entry, which is where Kate is right now, and also World Traveler, which is the merch store by International Gateway where the Skyliner drops you off. So those are the 3 locations that you can get the maps from. The maps are shaped.
Find a better view.
Yeah, you're fine. The maps, I'm just going to keep chatting while you attempt. The maps are shaped like little artist's palette, and then on the back they have the stickers that you use to fill in the front of the map. They are full retail value of $9.99, but pass holder discounts do apply to those as well. So that is a super fun thing to do with your kids. My kids love the scavenger hunts when we go. It's always something that they look forward to doing. So like I said, the back has the stickers of what paintings we're looking for, and then you fill them in on the front kind of as you go. There is a prize at the end.
Yeah, it was kind of sitting on the counter. I just trying to not make that cast member uncomfortable. So
yep, absolutely.
Oh, here we go. We can do this.
Oh, perfect.
Ta-da.
Yay! So there is a prize for the scavenger hunt. The prize is the choice of a small character figurine to paint. So it's about a 3-inch little figurine, and you can choose, depending on what they have in stock, you can choose between Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Figment. And it comes with those little little 4 set of paint and a little paintbrush, and you can do that character as your prize. Once you have completed your board. Now, also, if you don't have time to complete it all, or you know that you're not going to make it back in time, you can also talk to the cast member about picking up your prize early, or, getting it kind of at the same time that you get your map. Most of the time they don't have an issue with that for sure. So that is kind of the way that works. And as we go through tonight, Kate is going to show us 2 of the locations of those Figment little pictures. So we'll let you know when it is in case you're planning on doing it. We don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah. And like Jackie said, if you don't finish all of the things or find all the things, they're not going to be like, you can't have your prize.
Right, exactly.
So they understand. They understand the kids get tired or cranky or bored or they're done, and so you paid for your prize, you get your prize.
Exactly. The $9.99 gets you the scavenger hunt, the sticker sheet that goes with it, and the prize. So either way, you paid for it, so they're going to give it to you. It's not a huge deal. But it is super fun. And then, if you've got kiddos, they can pick what character they want, or, those types of things once you get it finished at the end. So super, super fun. The other thing kind of along the lines of a scavenger hunt is they also have these chalk characters all around the parks, and there's no real guide to them. They just kind of are there. So you can kind of keep an eye out for them. They kind of just appear at different places throughout the park. So definitely something fun to keep an eye out for as you're walking through the park with your kids.
We'll try to show you a few as we walk around the world.
So, perfect. So as we go, we are going to talk a little bit about the different food booths and kind of what food booths we feel like have the most kid-friendly options. If you've got kids that are fantastic eaters, they're probably going to easily find something to eat. But we're going to try and showcase a couple different places that have kind of more options that kiddos will like. So Kate is at our first stop, which is the Deco Delights. So here they have an orange mousse with lemon cake and raspberry meringue, which sounds lovely. But you can also see some other chocolatey treats they've got there as well.
Let me see. I think we have a picture of it over here.
Okay, perfect. So this is one of the food booths that if you're looking for something sweet to split with your kiddos, it could be a good option if you've got kiddos that are into that type of thing. And look how cute it is. It's just adorable.
I feel like my kids would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, because not only would it taste good, but it looks super fun on their little plate that they get. So it's just a win-win.
Absolutely.
So that is one of the locations. And again, we're just kind of highlighting, download that map from Kirk at Walrus Carp. He's got a ton more information on there. as far as that goes. And then, yeah, Kate is showing. So that is one of the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine items, which, Kate, do you want to kind of read to us? It's a little hard for us to see what that sign says in front of you.
It has a wonderful quote from Walt Disney that says, "Color does brighten things up, doesn't it?" So it says, take a Technicolor tour around Epcot and sample a spectrum of dazzling, delicious dishes in a vibrant variety of hues. Purchase any 5 menu items from the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine locations, and make sure to collect a matching stamp for each menu you purchase. After you've filled your palette by collecting 5 stamps, bring your festival passport to Deco Delights for a colorful culinary treat offered exclusively at the festival. Complete the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine at your leisure. Bring your stamped festival passport back to Epcot anytime before February 20th, 2023. So
very cool. So yeah, that is in the passport that Kate picked up that she showed us a little bit ago. That if you get 5 of those stamps in your passport, then you can redeem it for a special treat at the end.
Just gonna see where you can put the stamps. I'm sure they're in there. I'll have to find it.
Yes, so it's in that book somewhere. And so the cast members that are at those registers will help you stamp those, so that way you have that record. You just got to remember to ask. That's the kicker. Yes, you got to make sure you ask for that stamp, so that way you're not running all around back across Epcot to try to get those stamps.
And I'm trying to see where they go. If I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. And then
I walk the other direction.
You're fine. Okay. So then also in that area kind of near where Kate is. So Kate went, I don't think I explained very well where you are on the map. So Kate went into World Showcase and then went to the right towards the Canada and UK side is the direction that we had her go this time around. I enjoy it immensely, but so then also in that area is the Pop Eats booth. And there you can find a tomato soup with grilled cheese as an option for your kiddos. So that is definitely something to check out if that is one of their favorites that they enjoy. Both of those booths are right in that port of entry before you even make it to your first country. Perfect.
Found it. They said it was on the back page. That was not, I had help. Here we go. Here it is.
Perfect. Yep. So you can see where you can get those stamps, and then I'm guessing they have the 6th stamp for once you redeem it for your little extra bonus treat at the end.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. So we're at Pop Eats now. So that looks like this, which is one of my favorite places to eat here. Mainly because I love the tomato soup and grilled cheese. It's just kind of homey. But then, I don't know, I think some kids might like this one. It might be a little adventurous for some, but it looks good.
It's sure
this
cute.
One's a crowd pleaser, the tomato soup with grilled cheese. It is.
Very cool.
Sometimes it comes in a little like tin can, so
Yeah.
you can, which I think is fun. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the fun things about, when you're thinking about Festival of the Arts, you've got lots of colors and all sorts of different things to look at that maybe will help your kiddo try something new while you're there. You never know, right?
Yeah. Expand their palates, right?
Exactly. So those are kind of your options that you've got at Pop Eats. So like I said, both of those food booths are even before you get to your first country, so kind of in that port of entry World Showcase Plaza area, right kind of at the entrance of everything there.
Yes. All right, and refreshment port was up on the list next, so I'm going to walk that direction.
That's perfect. So like I said, in case you missed it, we are just highlighting some different things that you can do at Festival of the Arts with your kids, some different food options that are good for kids. Those types of things are kind of what we're chatting about this evening. So Kate just walked through the port of entry area and is heading towards Canada in the Canada Pavilion. One of the great things...
I did see...
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I did see Holly say the tomato soup and grilled cheese was good, but not as good as Woody's lunchbox. So, and it might be a little smaller because it is festival food.
Festival portions,
so
yeah.
that's a little heads up from Yeah.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah. So
But
what
I
was
still
gonna
think it was pretty good. So
Yeah. So what I was going to say was one of the good things that I think about these festivals is there are so many different food options, and a lot of it are they're smaller plates, so it gives you the option on purpose to be able to try a lot of different things. So that's something that I think is kind of fun at these festivals.
Yes.
My family and I will often, get something and then each try a bite or two, and then move on and get something else. So we kind of just snack our way around as we go. So now where Kate is in the Canada Pavilion is Refreshment Port. Yes, go ahead, Kate.
Oh, I was just going to say what you were going to say. So refreshment port, and then one of the things that is so much fun for kids is this Artist Palette Jumbo Chocolate Chip Cookie, because it comes with a little paintbrush and frosting that they can actually paint on their cookie, which is really fun. I wouldn't say it's like the world's best cookie, but it's fun for kids.
Yeah,
so
the experience is fun.
I think it's a great choice.
Yeah, They also have soft serve and waffle cones there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not chicken nuggets. There's gnocchi. It's gnocchi poutine. Someone was asking if it's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, gotcha. So there they do also have
they have traditional poutine here.
Yeah, and is this where they've got the Dole Whip as well, Kate? I don't see it on that particular menu. But I believe, according to what we had written
they do have chicken nuggets here as well, but just not on the festival menu. I see waffle cones. This is where they have soft serve waffle cones.
Perfect. Yep, so they've got some options there. If soft serve is something that you're wanting to have as a treat, they do have that.
I don't see
there.
any Dole Whips on the menu.
Okay. We had a note about it, but I wasn't sure if that was...
You never know. It looks like they've got soft serve and waffle cones, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get closer. It does say Dole Whip.
Okay.
Dole Whip
perfect.
swirl. Dole Whip strawberry, Dole Whip lemon, or Dole Whip swirl.
Okay.
So just kidding. It does have Dole Whips. I just had to get closer.
Say,
I was like, I feel like they're there.
Well, it's one of those things that when you're doing research for festivals online, it can get a little tricky because, especially if you're right at the beginning of the festival, and this festival just started within the last week. It started, I think, last Friday was the first day. So it can be really hard to double check and triple check and make sure that you've got this year's information and not a past year's information. But good, yay, they have Dole Whip there. So if you're someone looking for that, they do have that at Refreshment Port in Canada. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of different things while Kate walks towards the UK pavilion. Kate is going to be walking kind of right by the entrance to the World Showplace building. And in that building, there's an acrobatic group that performs. That is the Art Defying Gravity Acrobatic Group. So that is a performance that you can check out with your family if that's something you're interested in. And there are also, kind of as we enter truly into World Showcase more, there are also a ton of photo ops. So for the festival, they have several different places that have famous artwork that is brought to life in essentially a giant scale that you can insert yourself in and take photos with.
Yes, find one of those.
Yeah, so there should be, before you enter the UK pavilion all the way, there should be a Peter Pan one towards the water side. Once you get to that point. So
almost
yeah, you're fine. I've got stuff to talk about. No need to run. No running in Disney.
Just what Nicola, thank you for subscribing. Just perfect. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah. So these famous art pieces are literally brought to life size so that you can insert yourself in and take photos with. So these can be found in the UK pavilion, America, Italy, Mexico, and also on the bridge to the World Showcase, so kind of back where we were before. There are different options that you can find there. One of the great things that I found just as I was doing research for this is you can actually search their locations on My Disney Experience, which I thought was a nice feature that Disney had.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, so if you search in your app, just in the search bar, the Artful Photo Ops, it will populate all of the different options that you have. So that was really, really great as I was looking for things. So Kate is coming upon one of those photo ops, which is a Peter Pan kind of storybook one, which I just thought was so cute. And if your kiddos are fans of the story of Peter Pan, how fun to put them in the book.
Yeah, it's so this one is especially really fun for kids.
Yes.
I know we did with Kirk and Ellie the other day. I did one that was like crossing the Delaware with George Washington over.
Yep, that one's
with
in the American Pavilion.
And that one was fun too because we could pretend we were in the boat with them. So a
Yep.
lot of them, they make it in a way that you can interact with the art when you take pictures, which I think is just really great.
Yeah, and they do
super
have
fun.
photo pass there usually. I wouldn't say, open to close they have photo pass there, but for some hours during the day. And then look, they've got little descriptions there, which is really, really cool. So yeah,
Yeah, it tells you all about it so you can learn about the art as you go around the world. So edutainment. Education.
Yes, so super fun option. And if we see, if Kate sees any more of those, she can point those out. But I know they've got some, like they've got the Scream, they've got the Mona Lisa, where you can kind of put yourself in the artwork, right? So definitely some
Yes.
fun things that you can do with those as you kind of walk around. Speaking of photos, as Kate kind of continues to wander around World Showcase, there are some really great memory maker shots that you can get if you are someone who is ordering the photo package. They have a ton of Figment like magic shots that you can do with PhotoPass. It's hard to always know who has them, so my best advice to you is just ask the cast member if they've got any magic shots. And if they don't, ask them if they know who does, because it could be location specific. But there are a ton with Figment. The standard, like you can put Figment in your hand, or like the looking off into the distance and finding Figment. Those types of things are all available on that memory maker. So definitely something that you want to check out as well. I love this little nook back here at World Showcase.
Mural down here.
Yeah.
I know. It's such a quiet area too if you just need to get away from things for a bit. This
Yeah.
is one of my favorites though. Little murals.
So pretty. Every time I see that, that's all I want to do. Is just sing that song.
I know. Me too. We're so
So that
alike.
is in the UK Pavilion. If anyone is looking for it, Kate is looking towards like Rose and Crown and the Fish and Chip shop now. So that is kind of on the opposite side of there. I don't think they've brought that band back that used to play in that gazebo, and I wish they would, because that was one of my favorite things to
I
sit.
haven't seen it.
Yeah. So I wish they would bring it back, but I understand. So hopefully someday. This is fun for me because I just get to enjoy the sights while I'm talking.
I know we have a little bit of a delay, so
Do we?
yeah. I do love the lighting over here. They made it kind of look like a rainbow. Yeah, we have like a 5-second delay.
Okay, good to know. I will try to be aware of the delay going forward.
People are saying they really are enjoying this and saying please do more of this. So we're gonna have to do more Mom Streets with one of us live from the parks.
I mean, if the people want it, we have to give it to them, right?
Yeah, no, this is super fun, Mom Street. I'm really enjoying this one. So
Yeah. And it's
All
fun
right.
for me because I also get to like see it too, you know what I mean? So like it's so fun.
yeah, it's like a little tour. So
It's great.
virtual tour
Yeah.
of Festival of the Arts, and you guys get to ask us questions too. Mariah's asking where you got your ears from.
My ears are from Epcot. They originally came out with the 50th merch, and then they were gone. And then they came back. When was that trip that you went, Kate, that you stumbled upon? They had put out a whole nother set of them.
Oh, November? No, earlier
Probably.
than that. October.
October, November, somewhere in that realm.
Fall. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very hard to find, and I was very fortunate that my wonderful friend Jazzy, if you know the All Things Jazzy on TikTok, she gifted me my pair and was very, very kind to me. So that's how I got my pair. And then Kate picked up a pair when she saw them, and then we gave away a pair on Mom Street too, didn't we?
Yes, that was so fun. We do like to give away things to all of our Mom Street friends. So if you follow Mom Street USA on Instagram, TikTok, that's where we tend to do our giveaways. So you can get some, maybe not those ears, we don't have any more of those ones, but we have all kinds of other things that we're going to be giving away this year. So,
yep, we've got
We'd
some
love to
ears
have
along
you
with
part
some
of it.
other fun Disney parks merch type things that we're gonna be giving away, and we hope to be doing a ton of giveaways for you guys. It's so fun for us to see who wins. So we really enjoy giving back to our community that way for sure. All right, so Kate is entering now the France Pavilion.
Here, stop and look at this real quick.
Yeah.
So this is food that we thought maybe might be a little bit much. It's dark, I know, but a little bit much for kids that maybe are more picky. They have like a brie that's in bread, and they have some of these other things that are just a little bit more adventurous, I would say.
Yeah.
A croissant has kind of like truffles, and maybe so, you know, maybe not the things that kids usually would get. They have they have a black winter truffle croissant, a creamy brie and bread bowl, a plant-based Napoleon with beets, like things I would love to eat, but my kids maybe not so much. So
you might be able to get
you know.
the brie with the bread. That may be one that they go
Yeah.
for, depending. But
Yeah.
yeah, other than
Depends
that,
on
it's
your kid.
a little. Yeah, depending on what your kids' preferences are and that type of stuff. Yes, exactly. April, that's what I'm saying. Brie and bread. That sounds delicious.
I know I might go back there and get that later because I'm so hungry.
Oh, no.
So.
Well, it's a good thing that we're almost to your food spot. We're getting close.
Oh, good.
Don't worry, we're gonna feed Kate.
Yes.
It's all in the plan.
It's my reward for walking around the world is I get to eat.
Oh my gosh. So while she's kind of wandering, we're heading towards Japan. That's our next stop that I'm going to have Kate make here. But as she's wandering this way, a couple other things that I just want to highlight just about Epcot in general. Epcot does do Kid Cot stations, which are located in every why can't I think of the word? Country pavilion?
Country.
Sorry, my brain was like, nope. Every country in World Showcase has one of them, and each stop has an activity that your kiddo can do, as well as they give you something to collect. Sometimes it's little cards, sometimes it's stickers. It just depends on kind of what they're doing currently. So you can find information about that on Disney World's website if you just search KidCot, K-I-D-C-O-T. That will give you information on that. So that is a super fun way for your kids to stay entertained as you're walking around World Showcase. That way they have something to do to keep them busy.
I'm just looking at,
Yep, you're good.
just giving them a quick glance of some of the stuff that's over in this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one has a really fun passion fruit mousse.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
That might be fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep talking, Jackie. I'll just
Yep.
show them the pictures. You keep
Yeah,
talking.
that's perfect. You just keep showing us. That's awesome. So Kid Cot is something to look into. Now, I will say that as I was looking and researching, sometimes if the weather is bad, they do move those inside. So you may, if you don't see it right away, you may need to ask. But that is something that they do around the World Showcase. Again, to help the kids. Another thing that you can do is if you've got kiddos that are old enough to kind of work your device, your phone, without any issue, if you download the Disney Play app, they have an awesome DuckTales scavenger hunt that will take you all throughout World Showcase.
Oh, I can pull that up.
Even better if they're fans of the show, kind of the revamped version of the show or the old school version of the show. Either way works. But it is super fun, and you go on all these adventures, and you kind of create magic with your device as you go through. So if any of you are familiar with, they did it with Phineas and Ferb and Perry the Platypus. They did it with Kim Possible. So kind of a similar style of scavenger hunt. But the nice thing is now you do it on your own device, so you don't have to go and pick up a device and return it and all that kind of stuff. So thanks, Kate. So it's right there on again, that's the Disney Play app. So it's separate from your My Disney Experience app that you're using. And it is a super fun thing to do. Each country, I believe, has its own little adventure. So you can do just a couple countries, or you could do the whole thing. It is kind of involved time-wise because you watch a lot of little videos in between your activities. So if it's something that you know your kids are going to want to do, you want to make sure you leave enough time to do it. It'll easily take you probably an hour, if not more, to do the whole thing all together. So pretty. Sorry, I got distracted looking at the artwork.
Gorgeous. It's so pretty.
Yes, the April nose.
They have all kinds of wonderful artists.
That's awesome. So both of those things, the Kidcot Stations and the DuckTales Adventure on the Disney Play app, are two really good ways that you can keep your kiddos entertained if they're starting to get antsy and you're not done looking around at World Showcase. Those are two ways that you can just, and the nice thing is with both of those, you can just start them wherever you are. Whatever country you're in at the time, just pull it up on your phone or find the Kidcot Station and start it from where you are and just do whatever works for your family and whatever your needs are.
Okay. We're in Japan. We've
Perfect.
arrived.
Okay, so we are going to send Kate on one of the scavenger hunt items. So I did some Googling, and I looked up where a couple of these figment paintings were. So, Kate, we are going to go towards Tsutoshi department store.
Okay.
So Kate is heading back in towards the shops. Hopefully signal should be hopefully good back through here. But as we head back here, there's lots and lots of shops in Japan. Japan is a really fun pavilion. They've got a ton of toys and treats and snacks and all sorts of really fun things from Japan that you can look around. It's one of our favorites to walk through. Okay, Kirk says signal should be solid in the store, so hopefully we're good. But we're going towards the very back of the store. Yeah, Rick, they can be hard to find. Rick said that some of these were hard for him to find when he did it before. I know when I've done some of the scavenger hunts, honestly, I end up looking at Google on some of them. And I will tell you this, my son is like a hide and seek, find the hidden thing master. So we just leave it to him and he finds things way more often than we do. So Kate, we're looking for some artwork that is going to be kind of up on a wall towards the back of the store. Ooh. Oh. Ding, 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 ding. There is our figment. So if you are in the Japan Pavilion, that is your hidden figment painting for your scavenger hunt. So then what you would do is on the back of your palette, where they have those stickers, you would find that painting and stick it on the Japan little picture frame on the front to complete your Japan option or your Japan section of your scavenger hunt. Super fun.
That was adorable.
Yay! Good. I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope I don't send
seas.
Kate on like a wild goose chase where she can't find them.
No, you would never do that. You know too much about the parks to do that.
I would not. But some of these
trust you.
stores, I was like, oh, I think I know where that is. And I also have like my cheat guide pulled up in case I needed to like guide you there.
All right. I can go out this way, right? Yes. Oh, excuse me.
Perfect.
Oh. There's a little pin trading over here, too.
Ooh. Very exciting.
All right. Out we go.
Okay, back out towards...
We're going to head towards Italy, right?
Yes, well, isn't America first?
Oh, yeah. They have the artist table. Yep,
Yes.
I see it.
All good, all good. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot to get through. Okay, so yes.
Oh, yeah. Kirk says that's the Kidcot spot as well.
Okay,
Back
perfect.
there. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Kirk.
Thank you, Kirk.
Appreciate it. Yep, so we are going to leave Japan and head towards the American Pavilion next, which if you're not super familiar with World Showcase, that's kind of your halfway point distance-wise. We are pretty much directly across from where we started at this point. So Kate's making great time.
Okay, well, fun fact, the American Pavilion was originally going to be the first pavilion, and then you would head around from there around the world, because that makes sense, right? You start in America, and then you head around the world. But there was, I think it was Harper Goff, put it on a map that he put it in the center instead, and then he hung it up above his desk. And he didn't say anything to anybody, but eventually they saw the map so much, they're like, oh, that kind of looks better, doesn't it? So that's how it ended up in the center instead.
It's like
So a
subliminal
little fun fact
messaging.
for you. America was supposed to be first, and now it's in the center instead. So
Oh, how fun. Well, there
Yeah.
you go. And that's why we love listening to Kate and all of her Disney facts and history and all of those types of things, because who knew? All right, so heading towards the American Pavilion, a couple different things in America that are good for kiddos. The Artist's Table, which is your booth in America, has some options that kiddos may or may not enjoy. So Kate's going to round the corner here. She's passing the funnel cake stand. If your kiddos are interested in funnel cake, that is a year-round offering that they have in the American Pavilion.
it smells like fried dough. Oh, we should show this real quick.
So in this
Broadway
pavilion,
show.
yep, they have a ton of performances, a lot of Broadway that you can catch there.
That was weird.
That was. Yep, so they do those. If your kid is a Broadway fan, you can find those performances. Also taking place in that pavilion during the afternoon at 12:30 and 1:30, they do the Animation Academy. So if you're familiar with those drawing classes that have been offered on various different parts of the property, they do that at 12:30 and 1:30. Where they have a animator up on the stage, and you get a paper and a pencil, and you can draw whatever character they're drawing. One of the really great things that Kirk already mentioned here on my side of the chat is that for kids that maybe aren't up to drawing or don't want to, they do have coloring pages as well for the kiddos. So if you've got a variety of ages that you're traveling with, and some of the older ones really want to draw, but the littles aren't really into it, you can always grab that coloring page for them, so they can still participate and be engaged with something while you're drawing your character.
Hey, Jackie, I've got a couple of people over here that are new to Mom Street USA, and so they're saying they want to record this. The good news is that we make this both on, we put it on YouTube after our show every week. We put it on YouTube, and it's also a podcast. So if you follow Mom Street USA on YouTube and the podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, you can go back and listen or watch again anytime you want. So,
Yep. And those links are
and
in
also
our bios.
welcome if you're new to Mom Street USA. We're really happy to have you here, and we would just do things to help you make your travel as a parent, or really anybody who's going to Disney, but especially parents, make it easier and more magical. That is what we do at Mom Street USA. We have a live show every Thursday. It's usually a little bit later than this. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific. We just did it early because of the parks closing. So
wanted to be able to showcase what they've got here. So Kate is now at the artist's table, and they've got this 3-meat meatloaf with peas and carrots kind of included in there. So that is something that your kiddos may want to try if they are meatloaf fans. That would be a good option for them to
the hummingbird cake might also be good for some kids, depending on their taste, because the hummingbird cake is a banana cake, but it has pineapple and coconut, and some kids are not a fan of coconut and things. So I left it off that list, but depending on your kiddo, they might really enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Or you might enjoy that one while they have some meatloaf. I don't know. Just saying, parents need food too.
And speaking of food for Kate, she's going to head towards Italy, where she is going to be sampling some food for us this evening on one of the options that she kind of picked out as a good kiddo option that she wanted to try for us.
So this is the cast of Newsies that's there right now. That's what you're hearing.
Very cool.
So it's Broadway cast of Newsies. And this is free included with your cost of admission. So it doesn't cost extra to go see and sit down and watch.
Yeah, and they've got tons of seating in there, so if you're someone who is not sure about what that is or what you need to do, basically just check those times. Most of the time, those times are going to be in your app on your My Disney Experience, so that way you will be able to figure out what time the show starts. They usually do it 2 or 3 times a day, so you have the option to catch it. Yes, they've got tons of shows. Yes, April, exactly one of the many reasons she loves Epcot. Yes, they've got tons of really fun shows. I'm trying to let you listen, but I also know when I go to upload this on YouTube later, I don't want to get things for copyright, so I'm just going to keep talking a little bit while you listen in the background.
Yes,
because
keep talking. Yep.
So yeah, and those performers do
talking.
rotate. So depending on when you're going, may depend on who you see. So if that's something that's super important to you, definitely look up that list before you plan your trip. If you're like, oh, I see, one of my favorite artists or one of my favorite performers is going to be there, that's something that you can look up before you head that way as well.
No, I mean like if the queue's outside.
So
I'm almost to Italy,
perfect.
so I get to eat.
Yay! Eat and stop power walking for a moment, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I've earned my
Yes,
food.
you have. Absolutely, absolutely. So Kate is going to get in line at the festival booth in Italy, and she'll show us that kind of once she gets there. Now would be, if you guys have questions about Festival of the Arts, now is one of those times it would be good to ask them, because we're going to be kind of paused in this location for a little while. So we're happy to chat about any questions you may have or comments if you're someone who's been to the Festival of the Arts before. We are still going to continue around World Showcase once Kate is done grabbing her food. So we'll head around through the rest of the pavilions that we haven't gotten to yet once we reach that point. So if you're someone who has questions, like I said, now would be one of those times that you could put them in the chat and we will be able to help you. Or if we can't, we've got some people in our chat that I think would be able to help you out with that.
I don't know where the other one is, but this one is mozzarella frita, I think is how you say that. It's flash fried, breaded, fresh mozzarella with artist palette condiments. And then I want to get the chocolate pudding too. It's the budino al cioccolato, I think is how you would say that if you're Italian, and I just butchered it and I'm really sorry. But it says chocolate pudding with colorful chocolate decor, and that sounds really good. I'm really hungry, so I'm going to get both of those so we can try them both.
Perfect.
So, yeah. So I'll let you talk, Jackie, while I order.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yep. See, Lem is in here. He says if you've got questions, he can help because he's been there before. So yeah, this is in the Italy Pavilion, like Kate said. So just kind of to recap, in case any of you missed what we had done previously, we talked a little bit about different things that you can do with kids, and that's going to be continuing what we're going to be talking about. So we talked about the chalk art and the paint by number that you can do. We talked about the different galleries and live artist creators that you can watch as well. We talked about the scavenger hunt in here in a couple after Kate gets her belly full.
I don't know how I'm going to carry all this stuff.
Yes, if you, well, you know what? I have faith in you.
Hi. Could I please have the mozzarella and the chocolate pudding, please?
So 105, no more cash.
And then that's it.
Okay.
So while she's getting that, I'll
16.25.
Can I use my magic band, please?
to chat, but we talked about that Figment scavenger hunt and how that scavenger hunt, you go around looking for the different artists or different pieces of artwork.
I did it.
Inserted himself.
Oh, good. Yay. Thank you so much.
And then we've been kind of showcasing some different food options that your kiddos might
Hello,
like.
ma'am.
Hello.
May I see your receipt?
Yes.
That
It doesn't
brought
blow
us
away.
over to Italy. I don't want to talk too
Do you
much.
need the receipt?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Kathy. Kathy said, isn't there one that you can pick a prize at the end?
Your
Yes, so
mozzarella?
the Figment scavenger hunt does have a prize at the end.
And your budino,
You
ma'am.
can pick between 4 different characters, and they're little
Thank you so much.
3-inch statues that you can paint. So you can pick between Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Figment this year are the options for your scavenger hunt prize. So that is included in the $9.99 that you pay to start the scavenger hunt. And Kate and I mentioned earlier, if you don't finish it or you want to ask them kind of when you get it, if you can get your prize, most of the time they're going to let you have it when you pick up your scavenger hunt. Or if you don't finish early and you go back and you ask for your prize, they're going to give it to you because it is included in that $9.99 you paid. So definitely make sure that you don't leave without getting that prize.
I'm sorry, my gimbal decided to quit on me right as I picked up my food. So you get a sideways view for just a minute, and I promise I will fix it, but I'm trying to carry a lot of things all at the same time.
Nope, do what you need to do. It's all good. It's a very unique view of the Italy
found a table.
Pavilion.
I see a table, though. Hopefully I'm allowed to sit here. I think I am.
Okay.
Can I sit here, Jackie? Am I allowed to sit at this table?
I don't know. I can't see where you are.
Okay, I think so.
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to sit here until someone tells me to move. So
Perfect.
That's what we're going to do.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yes, Kathy, that would be fun to do
Alrighty.
one with on a mother-daughter night. That would be very fun to do one of the scavenger hunts, absolutely. And yes, Katie says get the prize early and not at night when the lines are long. And also, like, subject to availability. So if you really, really want a certain character, depending on what time of night you finish, you may or may not have the ability to get that character. So keep that in mind as well. April says, oh no, Mary. Mary is the name of Kate's gimbal. So Kate's gimbal decided to just take a little nap on us.
Okay, let me show you what I got.
Good evening and welcome.
We're gonna, Harmonious is gonna come soon, so yeah. All right. So this is the mozzarella, and it's got like all of these different sauces. So it comes with a little like spoon that you can like put on all the different things. So you can taste it. I think this looks like a balsamic. This looks like maybe like a pesto. I'll tell you when I eat it what it are. Maybe like a red sauce, but I'm just guessing at this point. And then this is what the chocolate looks like.
Chocolate
pudding.
pudding,
It's like a chocolate
colorful
pudding.
chocolate decor, it says.
Isn't it cute?
Very
I thought
cute.
the kids would be fun for the kids. I don't know if they would like all the sauces, but it's just fun. So
Yeah.
let me
Very
grab. I'm gonna grab my
visually pleasing.
stand.
Okay. So yeah,
Mary's
definitely
angry at me.
definitely a fun one for your kids. And like Kate said, they may not want to try all of the sauces. They may or not, who knows. But it's a fun little option for them to have. And that chocolate pudding looks delicious.
It does, yes. Okay. I'm just getting my stand out because Mary's mad at me.
It's totally fine.
Sorry, Mary. Jackie,
you're
have you been to this particular festival before?
I have not.
Oh.
I think this one is hard because I believe it's the shortest festival of all of them, or it's very, very close to being the shortest festival. So
Yeah,
I feel like
it is. It's like
that
end of
makes it-
February, I think.
Yeah, like the 20th-ish, somewhere in that last week of February. So it's hard to get to this one, especially because it's right after the holidays. But I will say this one is one of my favorites from what I've been able to see and consume on TikTok and YouTube and different places, just because of all the artwork and the chalk art, which I think is just one of my favorites, because it's like, where else do you see chalk art like that?
Like nowhere.
Right, exactly.
So impressive.
Exactly. So super, super cool option to go. And then, I mean, the food. Everyone talks about, food and wine festival and the food options, but honestly, the food options are really good at all of the Epcot festivals.
They are, yes.
So
I agree.
The food here is great. The food at Flower and Garden is great. The food at Festival of Holidays is great. So no matter what, you're going to get really good food at these festival booths. So I think that is one of the things that is super fun about Epcot as well, especially if you're someone who enjoys food. Hello again.
Hi. I am a human being.
Yay.
Somewhere here.
Yeah. All right, I've got
Hello,
a couple
everybody.
questions popping into my chat. Matt is asking, favorite character breakfast. So there are actually 2 character meals at Epcot. I know that wasn't specifically your question, but I'll talk about those first since we're in Epcot, and then we can talk about kind of other ones as well. But the Ackershows, I always say that wrong. The frozen one where you can do eat with Anna and Elsa, and then Garden Grill is another character meal, which is inside of the building where you would find Living with the Land in Soarin', and that is, I believe, Chip and Dale and Friends at that one. My favorite character breakfast is Topolino's Terrace, which Kate and I have talked about several times on our show. It is a really good one. So that is at the Riviera Resort. It is on the, I think, the 10th or 11th floor at the very top of the Riviera Resort. And that is Mickey and Friends at that one. But the food there is just top notch. I have yet to find better breakfast food than there in all of my, everywhere that I've ever eaten in my life.
There's a lot of cheese in there.
That was. It looks good though.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Trying to decide what this like creamy sauce is. It's kind of like a paler one.
Yeah.
I can't place it.
But is it
But
good?
this one's for sure just like a tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Red one's tomato. The green one I'm pretty sure is a pesto. That's a pesto. And I think this is balsamic. It's balsamic.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what the creamy one is. But the rest of they're all really good sauces. And this is like delicious. Very I would get this again. It's really good.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Let's see. If I
It's
can-
not very big though.
the
I'm
sauce,
glad I got the pudding.
or the just in general the plate is not very big.
This. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's just not very much food.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could find what sauces. Yeah. Okay. Well, if I figure it out, I will let you know. Yeah.
And seeing if there's any other questions on my side.
Yeah, I had some more. on
Kirk is
mine.
bragging about how much he knows you, so that's fun. It's kind of like mozzarella sticks, yeah. It's similar to that. It's just like a really fun presentation.
Yeah. Tia on my side asked, does the artwork change daily? So the chalk art does rotate. I don't know that it's daily, but I could be wrong. But I know that the chalk art does rotate kind of in that walkway as you go towards World Showcase. That does change out. So it's not the same through the whole festival.
Thank you, Lem, for the galaxy. Appreciate it.
Katie Moon says, I never eat the
you.
real food there because I always get festival food. Yeah, exactly. It's so much fun to try those festival food offerings, I think. So that's the one of the downfalls and one of the hard things about Epcot is there's so many food options that it's almost impossible to pick just a few. That's why I kind of like the festival options, because you can get a little bit from a lot of different places and the plates are smaller, so you're not going to get full that way as easily.
Yeah. I'm almost done with my mozzarella. Then we'll dig into our pudding and see how it is. I would say for value, I would give this like a 9 out of 10. So, you know, it depends. But I think it's really, really fun food. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. And I mean, if your
It's
focus
definitely
is
like not very much food.
yeah, and if your focus is what your kids are going to eat and your kids don't eat a ton, then it's probably a great option if you know that they're going to like the mozzarella sticks. Well, it's not a stick, the mozzarella.
Like frittata, I think is what they called it.
Frita? Frita? F-R-I-T-T-A. Frita.
Frita? Frita. That was close.
Something like
Frittata
that.
is more egg-based, I think.
Yeah. So Tia said, what's a good amount to budget? So my suggestion to you, if you really want to know what to budget, is to look at the menus ahead of time and see kind of ballpark of what you're going to be spending. Most of the festivals run in a similar price range. So if you're wanting to know about like food and wine, look at last year's food and wine menus to see. They're typically very similar year to year as far as prices go. And some of the offerings on the menus do stay the same year to year as well. And they do rotate out some. So it just depends. But as far as like an Epcot day of food, if you're someone that's going to want to be trying a lot of different things, I would give yourself a good amount to spend.
Kirk says estimate $35 per person. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you heard us talking earlier about that really wonderful map by Walrus Carp for this festival that kind of has food recommendations on it. Well, Kirk from Walrus Carp is in my side of the chat here. So if you have any specific questions for him, because he's eaten everything. So I think he's pretty much eaten everything, and he's here all the time. So so this is a chocolate pudding. This like a really pretty white. I think it's a white chocolate. The decoration is really what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Hey, it's not the worst food. I like Italy. He's saying Italy is not a good food booth. It is. It's not a bad food booth.
We're not talking about Lem's palate. We're talking about the children that we may be traveling with and what they would enjoy consuming.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'd say the consistency of it is a little bit grainy, so I'm not sure I love that part of it, but
Yeah.
I think a kid would probably really enjoy it, which was kind of the point. This is supposed to be something a kid would enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Chris asked, do the food booths close at park closing or earlier? So the food booths close with park close.
Which is coming up.
Yes.
It closes at 9, and then they do Harmonious, which if you haven't seen, it's going to end pretty soon. So, right? So it's the end of the 50th is the end of Harmonious. So it'll go longer than this festival. But it's not that much time left to see Harmonious, and it's worth seeing. It's a good show.
Absolutely. Let's see. Katie says Italy is always the most expensive to me. It really just depends on what you're looking for and what you want to get. All of the festival food is going to range kind of in the. I mean, some of it you can get as low as $6 or $7, but some of it will go up to about 10, depending on what you're getting. So you just got to decide what you want, and like I said, budget from there. Honestly, with Epcot, with the prices varying like that at the food booths, it really just depends on what you want to eat. If you've got 5 booths and everything that you want is going to be a $10 choice, then you're going to want to budget. You're going to want to budget $50. You know, it just really depends on what food you're wanting to try. So it's so hard to give kind of a generalized answer with that. It really just depends on you.
The other place that had a lot of great foods for kids was it looked like the Figment one, the Figment booth.
Which if we end where...
Except for, I heard the grape smoothie is like really, really gross. So don't get that. But there's like a fruit pizza that I guess looked really good that was new this year.
Yeah, and I think...
Don't get the purple...
If everything ends correctly, we'll kind of be near that booth towards the end. So we will be able to... Kate will be able to showcase some of that stuff hopefully towards the end. So Tia, that's a really good question. She said, what is the name of all the festivals and the dates? So in January and February, you're going to get... You're fine. You can vibe out with that pudding all you need to. So in January and February, you're going to get Festival of the Arts. And then March through about July, you are going to get Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot.
Which is equally as beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, so sometime in July, I'm not sure the exact dates change year to year, but kind of end of July through November, the very beginning of November, you have Food and Wine Festival. And then November and December, you get the Festival of the
I have a question here. Are there any booths that are in an area that are not wheelchair friendly? They should all be in areas, I believe, that are wheelchair friendly. I've not seen any. They're mostly around World Showcase, which is all flat. So if they're not, they're in areas that you can access with wheelchair. So shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, even the ones that are kind of like indoors in buildings or nearby those types of places should all be wheelchair accessible. Now, some of the lines that you're waiting in to like make those turns to queue up in those lines may be a little tricky for wheelchairs to navigate, but they all you should be able to do that, or they'll be able to kind of sit alongside of you and you can hand things over as needed or whatever it may be. As far as that goes, but you should be fine with that. You want the smoothie just for the cup? Yeah, the cup is super cute that Figment smoothie comes in.
All right, I'm gonna try to. You're gonna get a little wonky for a second because I gotta put you back with Mary so we can keep walking. Because Harmonious is starting in like 17 minutes, so we're gonna have to.
We got this. Should have given ourselves more time. We should have known better. So far,
I know.
we started on the Canada side of World Showcase, so we have worked our way around. Let's see, we've gone through Canada, we've gone through the UK, France, Morocco, Japan, America, and we are currently in Italy. So we are going to be headed towards Germany and then China. So that is kind of what is coming up next. Well, good, Tia. I'm glad you feel like you're there. That was kind of our hope with this episode. This is the first episode we've done when one of us has been in the parks, kind of trying something new to see how it worked out. And so far, it seems like you guys are getting a lot of good information out of this episode. So that's what we're here for. That was the hope. All right, Kate's got us rocking and rolling again, it looks like.
Off we go.
Perfect. Thanks, Kristen. Okay, so Kate just...
Len wants an episode with us both in the parks, and I agree.
That would be lovely, considering Kate and I have not met in person, so...
No.
That would be nice.
We've known each other for a while now, though.
I know. Like a year-ish, which is like crazy. Crazy to think. Okay, so Kate, if you missed it, Kate just...
Germany. What am I doing in Germany?
You're walking through Germany. You're headed towards China. Towards the inside of the China pavilion. Oop, I lost Kate for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. You froze on my end for a minute. I was like, uh-oh, did I lose her? But you're back. We're good. Okay.
Nope, we're good.
So Kate just ate in Italy at the food booth there. She's walking through the Germany pavilion currently, and we are headed to China. In China, we are going to find another one of those fun Figment paintings that go with the scavenger hunt. So we talked again, for those of you who maybe missed it, we talked at the beginning about Figment's Brush with the Master scavenger hunt. It is a hunt that you can pick up and pay for at Creations, Port of Entry, and World Traveler. And it is $9.99, but pass holder discounts do apply. So if you are someone who wants to do that, it is a super fun activity. And basically, you're looking for Figment. He has inserted himself in famous pieces of art. So. No, Katie, we have not met yet. Isn't that crazy? We do this every week, and we still haven't met. Oh, Christina, thank you. Christina says the third sauce with the mozzarella is an aioli.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I should have looked it up before I ate it.
Thank you, Christina.
I was just really hungry.
I know,
I'm like,
well,
I just want to eat it.
Tried to, and I tried to Google it fast, but I also have to be talking. So typing and talking and all of the above doesn't really work very well with my brain. So, and yes, Lem is mentioning DuckTales. We talked about DuckTales earlier as well. That is a free activity that you can do on the Disney Play app on your phone as well.
And again, as we walk around the world, if you missed it earlier, one of our favorite resources for the festivals pretty much all the festivals, is this really wonderful map from Walrus Carp, which I can't pull up because my phone's being silly. Okay, here, hold on. Nope, don't do that. So it's zoomed in right now, but he has labeled all of the festival locations. But not only that, my favorite part is where he makes food recommendations for what is good at the festival, if they're savory or sweet or a drink. It's just really, really helpful guide, and it's free on his website, walruscarp.com.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. And like I mentioned earlier, he does that for all of the festivals. So if you know you're going to be going for one of the other festivals at Epcot this year, be sure to check that out on his website. Great resources he's got on there as well. So definitely check them out for sure.
Which country was I going to? China?
China.
Okay. I'm just like running now. I'm like, gotta make it before Harmonious.
It's okay. We're almost there. This is like the last thing in World Showcase that we are going to point out. So then we're just going to head towards that Odyssey Center building. So, okay. So Kate is in Germany now, heading towards China. Like trying to see through.
Yeah. It's I'm in China now.
Okay, perfect. So in the China Pavilion, we are going to show one of those other scavenger hunt locations. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just be ready for that. That's your warning, fair warning. So in China, my hint to you, Kate, it says, find the ox and the dragon painting with figment in the China Pavilion as you walk towards the back of the pavilion. It will be on your right-hand side.
I'm guessing over here and not into the reflections of China.
I believe you are correct.
I had to guess.
Yeah.
I've never found this one before. This one's new for me.
Well, let's see if we can find it. Yes, Katie, they do have all the foods listed on My Disney Experience as well. So that if you want the full list of every single offering that they have, that is your place to go for that as well.
Oh yes, we want to give credit to Mel too, who also works with Kirk making these food festival maps. So
absolutely,
for sure. Mel and Kirk. Thank you for the food guides. They're super helpful.
Yes.
All right, what am I'm looking for?
On the right-hand side.
On the right side.
There should be an ox and dragon painting.
Do we think it's in a store or is it outside?
No, it's like right outside before you go through the next little... I'm looking to see where you are.
There's nobody back here. It's starting to feel kind of weird.
No, keep
Where's
going.
Everybody.
Keep going. You're almost there.
Okay.
A little bit further. A little bit further.
Oh, I think I found it. That was fun.
Hooray!
Oh, there's Figgy. Here he is.
How cute.
Ah.
Yes, Katie, it is very quiet back here. There's no one. But it doesn't help that we're about 10 minutes before the nighttime show, so everyone is getting their spots around to watch the fireworks. So yeah, so that gives you an idea of kind of what that scavenger hunt is like. It's definitely one that's going to make you work for those pictures and find all those paintings. But again, a super fun thing you can do with kids. And there are some helpful hints if you Google. So if you're someone who's like, that gives me some stress, what if I can't find it? There are some very helpful guides online that you can find if you so need to use that.
Kirk is telling me to run. I can't run.
There is no running in the park.
Disney. Yeah, no.
No running.
Walk with purpose.
Yes. So we've made it almost all the way around World Showcase now, as we have made Kate power walk us through the World Showcase. So basically the other areas that we have not talked yet about are, let me make sure I've got my map put up here. The refreshment outpost we're going to go past, we went past, sorry, before China, and then Norway and Mexico. So again, we're not showing you every single thing along your route around World Showcase, but just kind of highlighting some of the things to do with kids. that we've talked about in this episode. If you missed anything that we talked about, as Kate mentioned earlier, we do save this and post the video on our YouTube. And the podcast version goes up as well wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you're listening to this on a podcast, there might be some visuals in the YouTube that might help you kind of put the pieces together with Kate being in the park. So it may be a good idea to kind of do a little bit of both on this episode, listening and viewing on the YouTube video as well.
Just turn your treadmill up so you're power walking with me. All right, let's do it. Kick it in high gear.
There you go. Perfect. So we talked about, I'll kind of keep chatting as Kate is grooving through the other pavilions. But we talked about the Kid Cot stations, which are in every pavilion of the World Showcase. We talked about that DuckTales game on the Disney Play app. We talked about there are 2 different character meals that you can do here as well. The Ackershouse one and Garden Grill. A couple other things I just want to talk about with Epcot in general. They do have Harmonious, which is the current nighttime show that will be ending the beginning of April. But there is a nighttime show around World Showcase Lagoon, which Kate has been circling around. If you don't know, World Showcase is situated in a circle around that lagoon. So that is at the end of the evening, typically 9 o'clock, but always double check your My Disney Experience if that's something that you're wanting to do. They also do really lovely Beacons of Magic shows currently on Spaceship Earth. So that is towards the front of the park. We've been at kind of what is considered the back of the park for this episode. But if you find yourself up near the front and it has gotten dark, they do lovely little light shows on Spaceship Earth that are super fun to watch as well. My kids loved those when we went in October and got to see the different shows on there as well. So definitely lots to see in the evening as far as that goes with your kiddos. Kate's service keeps going in and out for me, so it's like slowing down and speeding up, slowing down and speeding up. Okay, so Kate is heading now towards the Odyssey building, which you can see she just came out of Mexico and then took the first pathway out back towards the front area of the park. So a couple things about this Odyssey building. It has been used a lot more recently for festivals. Currently, there's lots of sound happening over there. Currently inside of the Odyssey building are 2 different things. If you are someone who is wanting and hoping to grab one of those coveted Figment popcorn buckets, this is your pickup location after you have entered your virtual queue. So it is a virtual queue for the for that popcorn bucket. So if you're someone who is wanting to get one of those, you have to sign into that virtual queue under, like you're going to mobile order. So I guess not really virtual queue, more mobile order. Sorry, let me rephrase that. So that is inside there. That is your pickup location for that. But then also this is where the Figment's Inspiration Station is, which Kate has just so perfectly arrived at, which does have quite a few options on their menu for kiddos. So this is where Kate was talking about that fruit pizza is here. The questionable grape smoothie is there, as well as a Pop-Tart sugar cookie with blueberry filling and a rainbow cake with Skittles. So lots of lovely sweet treats for that as well. Kate is walking by on her right-hand side. That is the Figment popcorn bucket pickup. You can see them all on the table back there. The army of Figments.
It's like an army.
I know.
Yeah.
Katie, what time do they stop the shows on the ball? I believe they stop at park close. Oh, how fun. Look at that table.
It's like a table. Yeah. I remember those.
Yeah.
Memories.
Right? That's like a throwback right there.
Can't do much more because I have one hand.
Perfect. So definitely a lot of other things to see in there as Kate kind of walks us around. It looks like they've got some artwork on display inside as well.
Merchandise.
Perfect timing. Kate is showing you the Figgy Munchling that she just walked by. It is a little stuffed animal that resembles Figment. And it smells like, yeah, it smells like a fig bar, I believe. Yes, fig
Smells
bar.
Sweet.
Yes. So that is one of the festival-specific pieces of merch. Is it good? Do you approve?
Smells good. Yeah, it smells good. Smells like purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Purple had a scent.
So they
That would
still
be
have
bad.
the popcorn bucket. Yes, Tia, they do still have those Figment popcorn buckets available. No one really knows how long they're going to be available for, but people are hoping for the length of the festival they'll be available to mobile.
Thank you. I don't see the pictures of the things. I can see it show it up here, but there's no. It must be outside.
Okay, that could be right outside the building, maybe.
Yeah, but this is where you can get the fruit pizza. Maybe I'll look on this side. It might be on this side. It's gotta
April,
be.
you're so right. Yes, Kathy, as long as it's not the skunk smell from the ride. You're exactly right, Kathy. That's a good point. So Tia,
Yeah,
to
I
get
want
the
that one.
Figment popcorn bucket, you're gonna, first of all, you'll need to be able to get into Epcot that day that you're gonna do it. And then you're gonna mobile order. So on your My Disney Experience app, you're gonna hit the little plus sign at the bottom of the screen in the middle, and you're gonna go to the order food option. Then you're going to scroll down until you find it. I believe it says like souvenir bucket or something like that. And then you'll click on that and pick a time and go from there. And then this building that Kate was just in is going to be where you will pick it up once your time slot is open.
Yes, I think that's about it, right? We hit all
Yeah.
the things.
That is pretty much all the things. I'm going to just double check. Hi, Victoria. I'm going to double check through my
I got 1 minute until Harmonious.
Okay.
It's about to get really loud.
So we talked about the two pieces of merch, the popcorn bucket and the Figgy Munchling that Kate showed you. I think the only thing that I've got on here, two last things. First of all is one of the other food options we didn't discuss that may be good for your kids is in Connections Cafe, the Figment Liège waffle. That is on the Starbucks side of Connections. So if that's something you're interested in, that is an option as well. Connections is back the direction that Kate was headed earlier, kind of closer to Spaceship Earth area of the park. Last but certainly not least, I will mention that if you've got a kiddo who is really into art, or really likes certain kinds of artists, things like that, there is Meet the Artists available. Like Kate was mentioning, different artists come to the parks and do kind of like little meet and greets. So those I found on the events with Disney.com website. So that's something that you can look into as well.
Fabulous. Jacque, you did such a wonderful job with all of those facts and giving us a tour around the world.
I apologize if I just threw them all at you, but that is
they were great.
Yeah, so if you missed anything tonight, be sure to watch this replay on YouTube. We'll hopefully have it up here in the next couple of days for you to be able to enjoy. And if you guys have any follow-up questions that you didn't get answered tonight, feel free to pop into the Pocket Fam Walrus Park Discord and ask them there. We're more than happy to help you guys plan your trips, answer any other questions you have about Epcot festivals, traveling, all of the above. The music is making me so sentimental.
I know. I think we're going to let everybody watch it. But thank you for. I'm going to stay on and watch Harmonious with you guys. But thank you, Jacque, and thank you everybody for joining us for Mom Street for this festival episode. It was really fun to show you guys around. But stick around if you want to watch Harmonious. But otherwise, we'll see you next week for Mom Street USA at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on TikTok. So
yes,
love
hop
to
over
see
to
you.
Kate's side so you can watch Harmonious. I'm going to sign off so I can watch with you guys in the chat. So I'll see you guys in the chat.